Hello, my name is David Hall. I'm a water educator located here in Blakely County, Georgia. I work for the University Extension Service, and I have the wonderful opportunity to be able to travel throughout the whole Southeast District and be able to talk to kids and youth and adults just like the ones that I'm talking to here today. I'm going to talk to you about the importance of water and water quality. Now, no one wants to drink dirty water, right? You want nice, good, clean water. So let's start off with water. What is water? Water is a natural resource. You'd be surprised at how many kindergartners sometimes ask, where does water come from? Oh, Walmart. They make it at Walmart. No, they don't make it at Walmart. Well, water is a natural resource. It's something that we can't make or produce. We use it over and over and over again, just in different forms. So I'm going to try to touch on a lot of different things today because I know the age range that we're trying to communicate with may range very greatly, perhaps even from kindergartners right on up to young seniors in school. But I want to try to make it as entertaining and maybe joggle your mind a little bit and maybe think about some things as you go through life. Now, this little Enviroscape that I have up here, this display, is a wonderful display that shows the how water can become impacted all the way from farm life, agricultural life, to our cities and all the way over to our factories. So I want to begin by just starting out and showing you that this little area right in here is covered by water, and it's a large body of water. Remember, we're going to do a lot of pretending here, so just bear with me. I like to pretend, and I'm sure you like to pretend a little bit too. I pretend I'm a millionaire every day. So if you're going to pretend, pretend big. So this is nice, fresh, good, clean water. Now, do you realize that there are some cities like the city of Atlanta that get a lot of their drinking water from Lake Lanier? So today, for pretending purposes, we're going to pretend that we get our drinking water from this lake area down here. Now, this is a nice little community, and because I'm located in Cochran here today, this is going to be Cochran. Now, we're all going to act and pretend that we live in one of these homes and we get our drinking water from this area down here out of this nice lake. Now, we don't take a straw and just suck out of the lake. No, we don't do that, but we do use large pumps, and we pump that water out, and it goes through an extensive filtration system, and then we use it for drinking water. All right, so I got a little lesson here. How many of you have ever been walking across a parking lot and look where cars have been parked? After they leave, you look down and you say, wow, that's an ugly little greasy spot right there. Well, what it is engine oil that comes out from under our cars sometimes. It comes from our engine. So, in this little bottle, I did a little demonstration. I have half water and half engine oil. So the day before yesterday, I had it all mixed up and it looked just like chocolate milk. But what has happened overnight is that it has separated. So this is a prime example showing that water and oil do not mix, okay? Very important that you remember that. All right, so all up and down our streets, parking lots, where our cars are parked, we have oil droplets all on the pavement. I usually ask my kindergartners, hey, is this going to hurt anything? And of course, they say, no, it won't hurt anything because it's hard. It can't go through that. And I said, okay, well, we'll find out in just a minute. So we're moving on over here now. We've got a little family, and they're going down the highway. Now, I hope no one at home has ever done anything like this. But they're riding down the road, and they're letting their window down. And guess what? They're looking around. No one's around, and they're throwing trash all out onto the side of the roads. Now, that's called littering, of course, and you can get penalized with a nice little fee if the policeman's right behind you. So there's a reason why we don't want to do that. But some may say, oh, the grass is going to grow real tall and we won't even be able to see that trash before long. Well, we'll see in just a moment what happens. So you mean to tell me if I take this plastic bottle and I just throw it out the window and it lays in the ditch, that next time it rains it's just going to magically disappear? No, it's not. This right here does not go away overnight, folks. What should we do with our plastic bottles? Recycle them. Put them at minimum in a trash can. So that goes for all of our trash. So now, these blue lines on the display here obviously represent water, but they're going to represent, in this particular case, a very large river or a very small creek. Either way, water always flows downhill. Remember that. So we've got our factory over here, and the important thing that I want you to remember and to realize and keep in your mind that this factory is hundreds of miles where we are at right here in Cochran today, okay? So in this factory, it's 100 miles north of us. Remember I said north because it's uphill in elevation. Well, in the back of our factory, there's a machine that keeps pollution down. Well, that machine tears up and it allows a little bit of pollution to get out into the air and onto the ground. Now we know that that particular area there is going to run into some issues because pollution is bad, of course. But is it going to hurt us hundreds of miles away where we live? We'll see. The last thing I want to go over here is to Mr. Davis Farm, and I'm going to say it's Davis Farm because I love to grow corn. I love my cows. And so it's time to be planting corn this time of the year. So I talked to my county agent and I said, Mr. County Agent, how much fertilizer do I need to apply to my soil? And he says, David, you need to put 400 pounds of the magical 10-10-10 fertilizer because that's what the soil sample says. So I do it. But then I scratched my head and I said, you know what? I want the tallest, greenest corn. What does he know? I'm going to spend a lot more money and I'm going to put twice as much fertilizer out there as I should. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Well, it's definitely not a good thing. The whole purpose in taking that soil sample was to see how much fertilizer our plant was actually going to need. So all plants need fertilizer, but we should apply fertilizer according to its needs, not what we think it needs. So let's bring all of this together, piece it together, and just try to learn from all of these actions that took place across our countryside, okay? So don't say cotton, because I know this is cotton, but we're pretending. But it floats across a little town, and you're going to say, oh yeah, I kind of remember a little bit about that, and what's it called, a water cycle? Oh yeah. So we're about to get some precipitation here. Ladies at home may want to put an umbrella over your hair. I know you worked hard on it, and we don't want it to get freezy on you. Guys, you'll be fine. You're just like me. You won't melt. All right, so remember, the oil was on the pavement, and I said that perhaps it wouldn't hurt anything because it's so very hard. Well, remember I told you oil and water do not mix. So when the rains come, it actually floats the oil up off of the pavement, goes downhill, and it goes into what's called a storm drain. Kind of nice to name it a storm drain. It drains away the storm water. I'll get it right there in just a second. So now our streets are nice and clean, but where did the oil film go? It traveled through and it ended up in our drinking water. Oh my goodness, now it was nice and fresh and clean, but now it's not looking so good. We got our windshield wipers and they're flipping and flopping, and all that trash and debris begins to run off of the land. It floats up above that tall grass and it floats downstream, downhill, down the ditch, and ends up into our drinking water. So now we've got those floating bottles, plastic cans, aluminum cans, all those things that are eyesores that's affecting our water over here. Now let's think about this little brown area around this mountain right here. This brown is going to represent bare soil. So if I'm standing on this side of the mountain and it begins to rain, we're going to put a little bit of soil right here. And I want to talk to you just for a brief second about watersheds, okay? A watershed can be a very large area or it can be a very small area. But the most important thing to remember is water always sheds off the side of a hill and goes down to a lower area. So when the rains come, if we have bare soil there, all of that dirt, soil, whatever you want to call it, on the side of that mountain goes downhill, and now we have sediment flowing into our drinking water. So that's something that we want to be aware of. Bare soil is bad. We always want to have a cover crop or something like that to protect our soil and keep it in place. Now, it's beautiful sunshiny weather in Cochran, but over here in our factory, which is hundreds of miles north of us, it begins to rain, and the rain carries the pollution with it downhill or run off of the land, goes into the river, and the river carries it downstream. So now we've got all of these nasty pollution things in there that's going to cause us to have four-eyed bass and big-lip brim. Who wants to eat those kind of fish? Nobody. and we don't want them to get sick anyway. Finally, over here at Mr. Davis' farm, we're getting some rain. Hopefully he's going to get a good stand of corn. A lot of the fertilizer stays in place and will be used by the corn, but that excessive amount of fertilizer that I put out there, it just ran off of the land and went into our water. So now we have those chemicals, herbicides, all kinds of nasty little things that's going to get into our water. So the important lesson here that I want you to take home, or you are at home, but I want you to remember and focus upon, do we want to drink this kind of water, or do we want to drink nice, good, clean water? We want to drink nice, good, clean water. So everyone from a farmer right down to an adult to a youth can actually have an effect on our water quality. So in saying that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and thanks for your attention.